Ow, ow, ow! Man, like what even happened last session?
Oh my god, right?
A lot. I watched like
A
half
lot.
of it.
We did actually make a list of what happened last session. It consisted of population control for fun, your fangness, heart and power, Oopa Doopa style, and nutballs.
Man, I don't remember what population control for fun referred to. Oh,
I do.
what was it?
River?
I'm just glad it wasn't
Oh, yeah,
Hunger of the
River. Oh.
Tadar, the mass version.
Or was it the magical
Oh.
barrier?
Yeah, like I was wondering, like, is it like the dome, like making us leave, or is it something?
I thought it was the big dome of blackness that blinded everyone of a particular level of power.
Okay. Because like River, you're like, oh, no, population control. It's not fun. All right. So last week on the Hateful Sun, we ended up in the barracks. Easthorn. We followed his trail down into the dungeons or the prison cells. I don't know how politically correct they are in their referencing, and we murdered him. We murdered him for the good and for the end. And we got a ring off of him and a piece of parchment telling him to do his job from Sklod. I think that's pretty much all we got off of his body. We still have yet to look deeper into the ring. Oh, and we got a little glass bottle with a little bit of his potion of true sight left behind. So we're hoping Inqua can do something with that. Then we came up the stairs and there's a motherfucking coup going on. The werewolves are planning a coup. They want to take over Blue Rock Lake now that they've helped us to remove Easthorn. So that's great, you know. And you know, Dune, voice of reason, kind of like, do we want to do this White Fang being a surprising dick, but that's fine. But anyways, so we convinced them to hold off on, like, you know, sending in the dogs of war and taking over the whole place by force. By, like, you know, saying like we'll all like meet up and we'll talk together. But then, you know, instead of hopping to that, we decided to look through the guard barracks. And we found we found a guy. Oh, what's that guy's name? I mean, I think it's something ridiculous like Mason.
Are you thinking of Marin?
Oh, Merritt.
I was gonna say I thought we found the female guard that you and Solas ran into a while ago, being accosted by another guard.
Yep.
Oh, was she a female guard?
Yep.
Oh, I thought she was just a lady. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. So was Marin a lady?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so we rescued the attractive Marin from her imprisonment. And yeah, that does look really cool. And then they went further and they rescued Fluffy the cat. And Fluffy is very cute and is now another companion of Sunny's, who should have been a ranger, as it turns out.
Yeah, Sunny might have accidentally subclassed into druid when nobody was looking.
Yeah, right.
Including himself.
But yeah, and Eastern actually had a pretty cool room, you know, for an evil dude. Then they went along and they came across an Alaskan king, and playing piano next to it, Dirua, the mayor's horrible child. So they released Dirua from imprisonment. I talked about the size of the beds and their different functions for a little bit. And then Ollie and Dune went on to talk to Pierre and to assemble the townsfolk. So we rang the bell. Everybody came out. We told them what was up with the werewolf gang. and that, that we believe that they would be strong enough to protect Blue Rock Lake from their enemies, and that's all great. So yeah, everybody came together, entered the flagon, decided to bring out some drinks for celebrating the demise of Isorn and his guards. Oh yeah, we did leave one guard sleeping in the barracks, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. We were all having a good party, drinking the booze. And White Fang and the mayor were talking about the different ways that the town would be run. Mostly White Fang talking, the mayor nodding. But yeah, it seemed like it was all gonna be pretty good. And then big dark cloud goes like, "Meow, screw you, you think you can do this now?" And then a big dome of darkness, of no sound, no, can't like speak, can't talk, can't look. I just said can't speak, can't talk. That's embarrassing. Anyways.
I dead ass didn't even notice. I was like, yep.
Yeah. But we could hear other people. So it's like similar to the curse that was on Rajat at Yaramukai, right? That he
Farkloon.
couldn't see. Oh, fucking frick, you're right. Farkloon. It is. Why do I get those two
The
mixed
double
up
vowels.
so much? It's the double vowels. You're right. But yeah, so that was the same curse that was on Farkloon, and also on Rajat in the past. Let's say, that at Yaramukai, and now it's on us, which is some like big magic. So a number of the townspeople can still see, like Pieri. I think the mayor probably. I'm not totally sure. Aaron, the badger werewolf, the badge wolf, the were badger, and let's see. Oh, and Dune can see too. So that left our party and White Fang that had the curse on them and couldn't see. So when we left Blue Rock Lake, we could look back in, but in Blue Rock Lake, we're like our half of our senses are gone. And so it would be pretty hard to defend it. So since we really like Blue Rock Lake now, we decided that we are going to head off down the road through the valley of likely death to Jarris, to almost pure certain death, because we're ready to get in a really big fight, probably the biggest fight that we've ever been in, with Sklad. Which some people might think, wow, we're really not ready for that, but everybody else seems pretty into dying, so. So yeah, and then nut balls, and Trim gave us some nut balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys had a very tearful goodbye with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then began.
And White Fang's coming with.
Yeah. You were able
get
to
the feeling-
successfully get him from genocide to party mascot NPC.
Yeah. He was always nice,
I
It's
get
like
the feeling
wolves.
God
They just need to be
dead.
domesticated.
What do you get the feeling of, Toby?
I get the feeling the guard is probably dead due to the person we freed from the room with the biggest bed did make mention of, oh good, there's one left.
Did he?
Well, you ain't gonna find out because you can't see shit, and you're not even in the town anymore.
Oh my gosh. What a perfect beat.
So you begin to head north and east along the river. What kind of pace are we going at here? How careful are we being?
Slow and steady? Some of
Really,
us aren't here, you know.
I really shouldn't have been surprised that that was the turtle's recommendation.
I would like to go at a pace where I can at least use my little eighth staff to poke at the grass and check for like sand pits.
Hmm.
Not
Good
grass. We don't have that. To poke at the sand.
I hope the sand is just sand and not speedy sand.
Precisely.
At that kind of pace, it'll take you guys about 3 days to reach the bottom of the cliff that Duress sits upon.
Long rest.
Would we? How how would a fast pace go?
You get there in about 1.5 to 2 days.
Hmm.
Probably more like 1.5. But you would also be very exposed along this relatively fairly travelled road.
Hmm. When I
I
have
vote
to.
the not exposed option.
I mean, or we could just go like at a normal pace and not have any advantages or disadvantages. Get there in like 2 days.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
get halfway.
Is there a consensus?
Yeah, that sounds good.
If there's 3 speeds, I vote not the fastest.
I
Yeah.
sense a consensus.
What a total.
Why does that
So,
voice
it
sound very
sounds-
trustworthy?
Yeah.
It
You know, it's
sounds like
just
we're
safe
going
to
with
have a.
medium speed.
Right. Fair enough. So not making like a big lookout for traps or sand pits or lurking dangers that may come across you in the canyon, but also not going super slow so you'll get there quicker. I see the
Yeah.
appeal.
We're being careful, but we also want to get there
Yeah.
before everyone in the town ends up dying. So,
Woo! Since it was already about midday by the time you guys left Blue Rock Lake, you're able to get to about like here before the sun has like well disappeared, not just from your horizon. I mean, being in a canyon, you guys don't have a massive view of the sky right now. It's a lot colder than you're used to down in this canyon. And then eventually it's very hard for you guys to be able to continue without needing to rely on dark vision.
Oh no.
I can see just wall.
Oh no. Hey, can somebody hold my hand? I can't see shit.
I'll cast dancing lights. I have that cantrip.
Should we
Perhaps
make
you-
ourselves incredibly visible, or should somebody just man up and hold my hand?
Perhaps should we just make camp for now? I'm
Camp.
sure we could all use with a bit of a rest.
yes, that would be nice. My shins got torn out by a dog earlier today, and they're still a bit off. So,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh
So
yes,
you
I
guys
forgot
set up a
about
camp.
Solas and dogs.
Camp time.
Going to try and find like a place that's a bit like, you know, a nook in the corner or whatever, you know, where it's you know, a bit, you know, we're not right on the path or whatever, we're a bit out of the way.
Agreed.
Okay. Roll a survival check. Or a perception check.
Hey.
Yeah, you find this kind of like crack in the cliff wall that looks like just kind of solid, but when you look at it at a particular angle, you see it actually has a small nook behind it. It's instead of a solid wall, it is a bit of a wall and then a rock just in front, giving you guys about 10-foot diameter natural camp area.
You points this out, making his way in. If anybody else wants to come in here to get some protection, they're more than welcome to.
Waddle, waddle, waddle.
I will
fuck it,
stay
why
and
not?
keep watch.
Some of us have an entire town on our backs to look after.
Okay,
Is it-
somebody help me over.
Oh, fine. Solas will help Ollie.
Ah, thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Sorry about your shins.
Arazid will also go over and independently, because he's a big strong man, and then he's gonna get cozy.
Oh, with
The
your hot chalky.
Yeah, hot chalky.
Aw.
Hot Chocky is passed around to the group. A campfire is made. You guys see the back of White Fang perching on a rock nearby, and very tirelessly just watching out for any danger. This is
You reaches into his bag and pulls out a pair of gloves, or mittens, I guess, and begins to attune to them.
I thought you threw those things away.
No,
Maybe it was
he
the
burned the
socks.
socks.
Ah. Okay.
Oh yeah, seeing you take out the mittens, Ollie's gonna rustle around for her socks from Nick, and kind of try to get those up on her legs. I get the feeling that she's going to have to change the shape of her legs to actually hold up these socks in the weird way that they're knitted, like to match that.
They do look a little bit like they were knitted by a blind arthritic grandma.
Like the shape in general is there, but it's like they thought I had an extra heel mid calf.
It's a horrifying thing to change the shape of your foot to. I just want to let you know that.
Yeah, I'm not loving it, but I gotta hold these suckers up somehow. Maybe I could invent like some sort of thing that like reaches down like from my pants and like just kind of like a strap of some like a some hair rope that I tie around my waist, and then I can like somehow tie into the tops of these socks so that they're all kind of held up on like suspended, you know? And yeah, then they wouldn't fall.
Sounds like a lot of work for some ugly socks.
Yeah, but I'm cold, you know? So it's kind of I just have sandals. These socks are really key. Okay, Ollie's going to start working on a belt rope and sock holders.
Fair enough.
What class is everyone? I have infusions I'm probably going to give out.
7?
What? A class. I know you're a
Oh.
cleric.
No. I thought you said what class level are we?
No, it's okay.
I
I know you're a cleric. Ollie's a rogue.
I'm a ranger.
Use it, asshole.
There it is.
Brand new
Professional.
class coming this summer.
Use a monk fighter multi-class.
Okay. Do you use your bonus action
Yes.
a lot? Okay. Would you like some teleportation boots?
Yes.
Oh.
That sounds interesting, but I don't know if it's in use character to accept anything from somebody that he doesn't know.
Someone
Would
who
Ollie like it?
literally fell out of the sky about 8 hours ago.
Got boots.
Whose origins are have not exactly been explored to the group yet.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that is definitely viable to do around this campfire if you desire.
Yeah, I will.
Our teleportation boots still on the table.
Yes. Do you want them?
Does anybody else want these really, 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 really super cool boots?
You can
No.
have them.
Touch
Okay,
cost
thanks
enough,
everybody.
Arazid.
Yep, thank you guys. Okay, woo! Thank you so much, Inqua. So many amazing gifts.
All right. I believe it's only fair. You kind of pokes at the fire a bit. We're looking towards Ollie. I don't think we have any of the meat here, but everybody else got the chance to sit around and ask questions while you were out in a lake. If you have any questions to ask, now would be a good time.
Oh, wait. Oh, you want me to ask you questions?
If you want, or you can
Oh.
simply not.
No. I mean, is this like truth or dare? Like you have to tell me the truth every time?
What the truth is, I'll leave up to your interpretation. I don't think we have any of that meat that forces the truth to come out around.
Anybody
But
have any of that meat?
Did
that
anyone
forces the
take
truth?
any?
No.
The nutballs?
Nutballs
It's
are
meaty nutball.
just made out
Oh,
of
the
figs
truth
and
meat.
nuts.
yes, the anti-mystery meat.
Okay, well, okay. You. Who the frick named you you?
I don't know a name, but it wasn't my parents. It was a kindly turtle that I happened across while traveling.
Turtle.
Yes. He
They
had a
live in a
weird
cave.
I don't know where he came from. He happened upon me and had a weird accent and gave me the name.
Wait a second. How old were you when this happened?
This is like a couple years ago.
And what did people call you before that?
I didn't have a name before that.
Oh. What? Nobody gave you a name before that?
I was simply referred to as the younger brother.
The younger brother.
And that's
was
how
the
the
turtle
turtle
called?
got from that to my current name. Was shortening that from younger brother to young to you. It's this whole process that he went through.
So, what's your older brother like?
Dead.
Ah, well,
What was he like before the death?
A bit insufferable like me, I guess. I'm not entirely
Wait,
sure.
no?
We didn't
Okay.
interact too much
Self-burn.
until he died. And yeah.
I'm sorry. I have a sibling, and if she died,
Oh, don't worry.
I think
I
I
killed
would
him.
probably die. Oh, well, see, now I can't relate to you.
really, Arazid? Sorry.
I said I can't.
No, I know. I just
We weren't close or anything. Got into a fight.
clearly.
I killed him and took the sword. You know, typical
Ah.
sibling rivalry stuff.
I don't know if I would go that far.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not how these things work?
When my sister gets mad at me, she steals my pickaxe. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Doesn't use it to try and drive it through your heart?
No.
Did your parents never sit you down and give you the talk where your brother is your responsibility and you have to look after them when nobody else will, which makes you feel really, really bad when somebody hurts them?
My mother died in childbirth with me, and my father was an even bigger asshole than I am, who died before this all went down, and never talked to me.
Well, I mean, okay, well, so who raised you? You?
Was it a turtle?
No, he just happened across me whenever I was dying.
What was the
and
turtle's
saved me.
name?
Never got it.
Oh,
He just had a vague accent that didn't sound like anything that I've ever seen before, nor have heard since.
so he now knows of 3 turtles.
Did he sound
Oh,
kind of like? I don't know how to do accents. Wait, I shouldn't ask this.
You have a sending stone.
Ah,
Oh, you, bro. Okay, so I have a like a there's this. Just can you hold on a second, and then I'm gonna get out my little
you can do that while I answer the question. The people who raised me were not good people that followed my father.
oh, no shit.
I'm gonna get out my little talkie rocky, and I'm gonna be like, hey.
Oh, hey, brother. You doing okay
Hi.
today?
Yeah, I got into a fight, but I'm okay. I went to jail, but I'm out of jail now.
Oh, good.
Have you been okay? What are you learning right now?
I'm learning how to pray. And
Oh,
hopefully
that's
dig
awesome.
trenches.
Oh, well, that's less awesome, but I just don't get hurt, okay?
Master Aegis said that when the world is restored, we will all need to know how to dig trenches for... What did you call it again? Irrigation.
That sounds complicated. I have a small favor to ask.
Uh-huh.
Can you hand the talk rock to Aegis for a second?
Oh, okay. Hang on a sec. You hear a fumbling and the sound of footsteps. And then ringing out from the stone is the clear voice of Aegis. Ah, good evening there, Miss Sweeties. How goes the adventure?
Well, it certainly goes. I was in jail. It was not fun. It's going, but I'll probably I'll ask someone else to explain it better because I'm kind of not good with the whole that thing.
Lovely to hear from you as well. What was that?
So I sound like Morty there, God.
You mean you didn't before?
All right.
Yeah, there are worse things to sound like Muscle Man. Woo!
Oh no, bro.
Do you know who else?
I got more infusions to hand out.
Then that, yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to Sunny, and I'm gonna hand him a ring. This special ring gives you more power, and I will send you the description.
Yay!
So.
Just so we're clear, this doesn't mean that you and Sonny are married.
No.
Just intending to be,
not
I
married.
get it.
This does require, both of these do require attunement. And I have one more item I'm gonna give out.
So it's basically the ring of extra fireball. Got it.
Yeah. Exactly. Do I wanna keep this item. I already have a good con save. Does anybody want any better armor?
Sonny's probably okay.
I would like better armor.
Yeah, so I struggle to dodge things half the time, but I have a thing that can
Yeah,
help with
actually,
it, so that's
Solas
fine.
has been closer to death more times than I have, so maybe that's a bit better.
Well, that's
Especially if there's
because I got a thing the other day. I've just completely forgotten to use it. Seriously. So seriously, just take it and trust my memory. It's not that great. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Dude, you're playing a warlock, right?
Yeah.
A ranger.
Oh, ranger. I'm sorry. I'm mixing classes and people up. Or Solas. Do you have any concentration spells?
Oh well. A few, yes.
Are there any good ones?
A few, yes.
Would you like to never fail your con saves?
I mean, if you want to.
Guess what? There's an item for it.
I like this older gentleman. He falls out of the sky. Ollie is like, hey, beat up some people.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, sure.
Gives better gifts than Santa.
I am the rewarding NPC. But I keep rewarding.
His real name is Vending, surname Machine. So, sorry, Dewey, there was a sending stone. Were you handing it off to somebody?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, hey Agus, I have someone that you might have known from the past. Have you ever given someone like a name?
I mean, once or twice.
Okay, well, would you like to talk to someone who was given a name by a turtle with a nice voice?
Oh, why the heck not? I'm just waiting on this stew to finish boiling.
Okay, and then I'm gonna hand the stone off to you, and I'm gonna be like, you just put it to your head, and then you think into it.
What? You takes it. He like eyes Arazid, and then slowly moves the stone towards his head and just hello.
Oh, hello there.
Does you recognize this voice?
Roll a history check.
That one. That one.
Is he?
Yes. With the memories that the conversation has been bringing up, everything about that incident except for the voice was fairly fresh in your mind anyway, and now this voice is like slotting that into place, and suddenly you remember again.
Years ago, you came across me, dying. You saved me. Why?
Oh, it's you, my dear boy. How have you been all of this time? Are you keeping your nose out of trouble?
No, not really, but trouble seems to find me no matter where I go.
Are you having
Ever since
fun
I
at
left
least?
that place. I might actually be. I don't know. What is fun?
It's when you don't feel miserable all of the time.
Then yeah, maybe.
I'm glad to hear it, my dear boy. That is why I saved you. And that is why I named you. So that one life may be spared, and maybe it could have done good. Maybe it could have done fun. And either way, better than just feeding some of the vultures.
Aw.
I see. I think I've done some things that might not have been along that line. I'll try to do better.
Remember, boy, It is all a balanced system. One bad act, by mistake or on purpose, does not negate all of the good that ye have done. And if
I
it is
see.
truly in your destiny to help save the world, either on a personal level or maybe on a wider one, then the pieces will fall in place. And who is anyone to tell you otherwise, eh?
I guess so.
Oh.
Thank you.
Now, the stew is boiling. Y'all have a safe night's sleep.
You as well. He will kind of like move the stone away and then toss it back to Arazid.
Arizona will catch it. Defense reclaims.
That was him. You're just gonna like stare at the fire for a minute. All right. You know
Arizid's gonna
how
face.
whenever we left that weird facility and everything, and you guys asked me about that cult that I said I wasn't a part of.
Nope, but okay.
Yeah, that was a lie.
You lied? Sonny is just in a state of shock right now. You can see it on his face.
It's okay, buddy. People do that. Way more.
Sorry.
I am the only surviving son of. Shoot, I need to get up a thing here. Give me a second.
Take time.
There it is.
You is just dissociating mid-sentence because of the trauma.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, buddy.
The only surviving child, I guess, of Masaru Kanda.
Masaru Kanda. Has anybody ever heard of Masaru Kanda? Like, what kind of circles are we talking here?
We're talking about the cult, the Summit of the Second Sun.
The cult that was the Summit of the Second Sun?
That's the cult name. I don't know their inner workings right now. My father died. I killed my brother, who was supposed to take over. Took the sword and dipped.
Huh.
It was interesting time.
And what was the goal of the cult?
Well, you see, I only know what the one-sided bit of my father told me, but
Mm-hmm.
I can at least share a bit of that. Long ago, I'm not sure when this was, but he claims to be part of the Children of Aber.
Mm.
He claims to know Nekis, and she was the one who founded it. From what he told us is that the good word of healing the world is a lie. And even these powerful city rulers don't care about this world as long as they have power. He told me and my brother about time serving Nekis, about that she was witnessing hedonism and slothfulness of her etching poems on the walls lamenting parts of the calamity. Whenever he left, he didn't know the full story, or really what he said. However, he had theories of how to fix the world.
Mm.
But he also told me the tale of how he rebelled. he claims to have yelled at Mechas with the power of 1,000 dead slaves, took up a sword and plunged it into her chest. He claims to kill her, and that is the sword that I carry, the Sun's Tear. These are
What?
all baseless claims of my father. How many of them are true, I have no idea. However, I know that it is that line that I come from is where my abilities come from.
Well, that explains why I hate you so much.
Yes, it also explains why your blood boils on my sword. I'm inclined to believe that it might be true, based on that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's decent proof.
But we talked to I'm so confused. So your dad was a part of the Children of Arbor. He wanted to bring back the second son. Didn't like how the Earth was going. Why did he rebel? Why did he yell with
Look.
this force of 1,000 slaves? Force of 1,000 slaves? What is
Dead
that?
slave.
Yeah,
Dead
dead
slaves, he
slaves.
said.
Like, is that how you make a statement when you're a cult leader? You get 1,000 people, slaves, to yell while you kill them?
No, he had the power of 1,000 dead slaves, is what he claimed. I don't know what his stupid and baseless claims are, but
Seems like some necromancer
So
type shit.
he was angry that 1,000 people died and so stabbed a person.
maybe he never really elaborated. He just kind of went on and on.
Like a weird.
You know how cult leaders are; they're all about themselves. Maybe that's why I'm all about myself.
Ollie looks at Solas and whoop, looks away.
Shut up. I know I'm all about myself.
The one little tidbit that might help in us in this venture is that he did tell me and my brother this. When the second son died, its corpse fell to the earth. Somewheres it still lays to this day. He theorized that it can be restored with the power of the elements and the might of magic. It seems that his theories were partially correct, at least, as those orbs appeared to be the power of the elements. The might of magic, I have no idea.
Does Ollie feel anything from her ball sack as she hears this?
Nice choice of wording.
Roll an Arcana check, please.
Can I help?
Oof.
Yeah, you can help. Ollie, roll again.
That
Ollie,
helped.
Ollie fondles her balls as you all relax by the fire. At first, it doesn't seem like she's going to succeed very much. And then she feels that vibration, that resonance, that harmony that the two orbs now share now that they've been brought into contact with one another. You feel it kind of flare up a tiny bit as you were speaking.
Hmm. Do you know where the second son fell?
No, he never had that exact thing. All he told us is perhaps he does. Perhaps it's in his study somewheres in the cult hideout.
Where's the
We're a
cult
bit,
hideout?
it's closer to Neglement. That's also probably why. Yeah. I wandered for a bit afterwards. I think that's where it is, at least. I don't particularly remember. After you kill somebody and you're trying to flee a cult that's now after you because you stole their special sword and everything, you kind of don't pay attention to landmarks. You
Yeah,
kind of are more focused on fighting off assassins and trying not to die until they almost kill you, and then a very nice turtle comes along and stops that.
You know, I can't relate at all.
Most people can't. It's also why I don't understand a lot of things out.
How is Inqua reacting to all of this?
It's kind of like caught thinking, just like trying to like wrap his head about what is being said and trying to see if he knows anything.
He can attempt to recollect if he desires with his history check.
Okie dokie, I'll do that.
Sunny is really cool right now. The breeze this thing is making as it goes over his head.
Oh,
Very nice.
so close. We were this close to greatness.
Oh,
This close to
buddy.
greatness.
Oh, buddy.
Oh.
That, you really got
Quick, somebody
hurt
help him.
when you fell from heaven.
Oh, could you going on and everything not jog the mind and everything and be considered help?
Give him advantage.
It would be difficult for someone to give him help with that because it is a thing he's trying to do within his own mind.
Mm,
I
understand.
would rule that, you guys could see that he has a very puzzled look on his face and he said some things that seem a bit out of place. And you don't know anything about his backstory in particular right now, so someone could have picked up on that and the social focus could flick to Inqua and you guys can explore that as a means of helping. That's how I'd rule that.
Hmm.
I mean, kind of like pokes at the fire again, and well, that's more or less the entirety of my life story, I guess.
Hmm.
Seems everybody has shared theirs. So.
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
Except Foley from Sky Guy, but,
Yeah, Inqua.
Wait. You instantly like just deadpans of, there's another person here? You didn't hear any of that, and if you did, I'm going to kill you.
God.
You even hear White Fang laughing.
Yeah, he fell from Sky,
God.
apparently. Ollie said he fell from Sky.
He did. He fell from the sky.
So you wasn't aware there was another person in the party, as that person actively said, "Hey, do you want teleporting boots to his face?"
Narcissism, honey.
Oh man.
Wait. Hasn't you literally been given an infusion by this point?
No,
Or
I
did it
offered
end up
an infusion.
right?
I went to
So you've
Ollie.
already had a conversation with this person, you.
I know, that's the point.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, Inqua. Inqua, can you tell us about, you and not about you, but about you, Inqua, and what you remember your life being like before you suddenly fell out of the sky?
Has like a puzzled look on his face. No, very few memories, not many ideas.
Yeah, but I don't know, like does Inqua like look like weird? Like,
Lacking his
besides,
hand.
I mean, like there's the crystal hand,
Right.
right? Like I've never seen one of those. Like, can I look at Inqua? Like, Inqua, can I look at your hand?
I pull off a glove that has
So-
the.
A few of
How
you do
functional
notice.
is this thing? Is this like a mannequin hand or is it...
I will say a few of you do notice that Inqua's clothes seem to be tailored in a very particular style. The only time you've seen tailoring get close to this level is at Madame Godiva's.
Ooh.
And
Wow.
that was really just like an old woman trying to make the best that she could. There is something
Is
very
it any
abnormal
did.
about his clothing.
Is his clothing anything like the clothing that would have been under certain lab coats?
Roll a history check.
I can't see why this would go wrong.
uh,
That feels fitting, buddy.
This is why I played an artificer.
The
You,
naked turtle has never cared much about hemming and stitching.
You
Hey, it's
barely
not naked,
remember
here's my
anything
loincloth.
about what these guys were wearing. All that you can think of when you think about the clothing that the employees of the research facility wore, all you can think of is the tangy sweetness of the food that they had.
Yep, that fits. I've still got the glowing orb of that place that doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Except glow, which as someone who doesn't have dark vision is useful. Just saying.
Probably. Yeah, I could cast a light spell on it.
It gives off like very light, natural light, more than you have. But yeah, you're dead sure it's not the same thing.
So, Inqua, your hand, can you move the fingers?
I can. But
Wow.
I've been doing that.
What kind of a spell is this?
Good question. Anyway, next question.
I feel like the question of can you move the fingers immediately folds in the thumb, the index finger, the ring finger, and the little finger.
I will
Leaving
be
the
Yeah,
other
just-
yeah,
one
it works
standing.
really good.
So
Wow, that's
as you are as Inqua is being asked about whether or not it hurts, where the origin was from, etc., you have this very brief flash of memory of something burning the flesh off of your hand.
Ah.
what was
Probably-
that?
Lots of fire, burning, destruction. Memories.
Yeah, memories can be hard.
No, memories good. When have no memories, all memories good.
I can
Someone
see
will
that.
help you make new memories.
Aw. So, Inqua, like, I don't know. Like, you don't remember anything? You remember your name.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I guess you remember that you're really good at making stuff.
I suppose.
Hmm. Did you have a pet?
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Hmm.
No pet.
Did you
Oh,
have a
goodness.
best friend?
No,
Well, that's too bad.
maybe, possibly.
You remember,
Probably.
on the subject of pets, you remember something quite small and round, possibly a hamster?
Hamster.
Hold on a sec. This person remembers everything about everything except who they are. Which having Jason Bourne.
Welcome to literally every RPG.
And who are you?
Huh. Well, I mean, we'll probably figure out how you fell out of the sky someday, right, buddy?
Sooner or later.
All right. Well, can you show me how these boots work? All right, I'm gonna.
You just.
You
just-
footloose garage scene.
What?
Moving on.
Yeah, footloose, like in the town where no one was allowed to dance. Ollie's gonna dance.
She can dance if she wants to.
Yeah,
She
Leave
can
her
leave
friends
her
behind.
friends behind. Because
But she
her
won't.
friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
I'm sure Sunny and Arazid at least are dancing.
Sunny will join in.
Woo!
Sunny has a
Sunny
history
will-
of dancing unprompted, so I don't see why he'd pass
That's
off the
true.
opportunity here.
Oh, and maybe can you maybe you could do like your investigation thing that you were gonna do on this ring I got. I'm gonna give Inqua the ring that I got from Esorn.
Oh yes. I'll ritual cast identify on it.
Alright.
Oh no, I don't have a pearl. Never mind.
You do not.
Oh yeah.
Did I say pearl? I meant I'll just do an Arcana check. Boop. 23.
23 definitely gives you an idea of what it is. It appears to be a fairly basic ring in comparison to what you think you may have seen before. And I'm just going to put it into your journal for the time being. That's not your name, that's your name. Let me know if you can't see it.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
The enchantment does seem to be quote unquote simple.
There's simple enchantment. Absorbs spells at will.
Like if Sunny were to like do a fireball, I could just like suck it up into the ring and then like could I use it later?
It seems to be that way.
Huh.
But
How much do you think it's worth?
I have no sense of currency at all. I have no money. I have no idea the economic.
More specifically, Ollie, how much do you think it's worth to you? Magic is one of the few things that can actually harm you.
Magic.
Well, yeah,
In a straight up fight, it's you know, it's a more thing of skill. However, whenever somebody's 120 feet away throwing a giant explosion of fire, it's a lot harder to survive.
It sure is.
Is
Yep.
there a limit on how powerful a spell can be stored?
No, it takes a lot of focus to capture one spell.
Mm.
No. I mean, like, can it only store spells of like certain types over others?
Mm.
I'm asking about spell levels. Just putting that out there.
There is no limit on spell levels. There is consequences for using higher spells or capturing higher spells, but yeah.
There are some fun spells that could be stored in that thing then.
Mm. Well, I don't know. Should I keep it? I mean, obviously, I'm not going to give it to you. No offense to you. Or do you guys think that you could make better use of it, you actual magic casters?
Yes.
I may be able
Some
to
of
use
us
it
have a
well.
lot of spells and very few slots. Actually,
May be able
some
to
of us
use
have
it
even less
well.
slots.
Very good at focus.
Oh, it's very cool. Ooh, that's very cool. Okay, I'm keeping it. Sorry.
Okay then.
Oh man, got a cool ring. Got some cool
So,
boots.
when do you want Sunny to throw a fireball at you?
No, not right now. Wait, well, then again, we are about to do a long rest. Hmm.
It'll probably have one more long rest before we get there, so that's the time for you to attune to it,
Yeah. Okay.
and then we can
Alright.
try and not kill you with a fireball.
Cool. Okay, so Ollie is going to take her time attuning to her new boots and her new ring through a dance sequence, of course.
Of course.
Um,
Is everyone okay with getting both of these magic weapons? Well, magic
No,
items,
but I'm
I
okay
should
with
say.
it.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right, I'll give the ring of reflection to Sunny because he's
No.
great.
Sunny's already got a ring. If
Yeah.
he puts 2 rings together,
I've already
got
got
a
a
ring?
ring too, though.
do you?
Hmm.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
you've got the ring of turning. You've got the ring of it turns invisible.
I do have that ring. Yeah, I do have that ring.
But
Good
it's
memory, buddy.
sentimental.
Okay, then I will give the ring to my sweet, sweet hubby.
Ooh,
Yeah,
something
because
to
I
pair
want
your
you to
hot
be
chockey
safe.
with.
Yeah.
Does this mean that we're engaged? I thought we were already married. He sounds like actually hurt.
To be fair, Ollie never did ask with a ring. She just kind of said this is now happening.
Nah, sweetie, this just makes it official. I'm gonna bump his elbow.
Sweetie.
I'm okay with Ollie having it. I'm just, greedy.
Well, Ollie's greedy, but Ollie does have like the most magical items in the party, so I'm.
Right,
This is why I bring
now I
this
need
up.
more.
Orbs, the bag of holding,
Yep.
a ring of
Yeah,
invisibility.
Yep.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
you're
have a
beginning of those.
collector over here.
It's not a ring of invisibility. If it was, that'd be the most amazing piece.
It's technically a ring of invisibility. It just only works
Technically,
on
it is.
itself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One of these days, I'd like to play a character who's a con man who sells quote unquote magic items.
Yes. Oh, you'll
They
pay.
do what
just
they
not
say they
with
do. They just
money.
don't do it the way they say they do.
You need to read Needful Things, I think is the name of the story. Stephen King writes about the devil opening a shop.
Oh, whoa, that sounds awesome.
I think
That sounds like an episode of Rick and Morty. I'm not
yeah,
gonna- just-
that they steal everything from everyone. Who do you think they stole that from? Stephen King
Yeah,
did
probably.
it 30 years ago.
He's just going to like nestle up in his like corner of the little alcove, and just he's done. He's going to bed.
You begins to go to sleep. Whitefang seems to be still pretty okay, sitting or waiting, keeping watch. If everyone wants to trust him to do that for the night, that's fine. And you guys can go to sleep.
I see Sunny sees nothing wrong with that. It's not like he's going to get stabbed in the back or anything. That guard is quite firmly dead at this point.
And who's going to be able to stab Sunny in the back?
Exactly. There's going to be one guard that could pull that off, and he's already dead.
He's not dead. He turned into a werebadger.
Oh yes.
And I think
Also,
this is
Dead
she.
inside.
Yeah.
In that case, they're dead inside.
This is why my pronouns are superior.
Yeah. Also, it makes me think of the Nazgul king or whatever in Lord of the Rings, who's like, no man can defeat me. I am no man.
I love that.
I disagree. I say my pronouns are better. I've only got a 50% chance of being wrong. With people using them as a pronoun, that means I have a 1 in 3 chance of getting it wrong. And then there's the other people that find other ways to do it. And it's like, will you people stop complicating it?
Ain't their
You
fault
have,
they
like,
don't
a
feel that
1 in-
language doesn't have a space for them.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine
you have
how.
like a 1 in 5, 6, 7 chance of getting it wrong. Count the most in the
Yeah,
open
if
now.
I actually cared about these sorts of things, I'd have a mental goddamn breakdown.
In most
Fortunately, I don't.
in most spaces
Probably.
that like I operate in, at least the common consensus is default to they them until corrected otherwise. But you
I
know,
used to do
there
that.
are
My
some
teachers yelled at me.
yeah, there are some cis people especially who are very fucking touchy when it comes to pronouns. So
I never met any of them. We didn't use cis back then.
yeah. Hence language evolving. Anyway, sorry to derail
Hell,
that.
then again, I don't think we use it now.
Yeah,
Depends
that's
on the circle.
people call it a fucking slur because they're transphobic.
I
Anyway,
don't call it a slur because I'm transphobic. I call it a slur because I find it insulting.
What's the slur?
D&D.
yeah, I'm
And
not going to
Dragon.
unpack that right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good, because I don't know what you'll find.
I'm not going to respond to that question because that'll draw me back in. D&D. Do you guys have a long rest?
Adventure awaits. Huzzah!
Yes. Let us do away with silly forays into real world topics and get back to whether or not y'all are gonna die. Does anyone
Use-
set a
Talk about the
rest?
news.
Oh, Ollie be resting. That dance off was oof.
Yeah.
He's taking a nice 8-hour slumber.
Nice,
Sounds
solid,
nice.
quick.
Arazid also attuned by dancing?
Okay, yeah, here's the thing. Are we actually having a dance off? Because
No,
if so, I will already be requesting performance checks from, I
Wow.
believe, Arazid, Ollie, and Sunny.
so like
Okay.
And
it's
anyone
not
else
like
who wants to join in.
it's not a spoken competition, but it's definitely happening. You know.
And I'll probably also need a constitution check from you because he's trying to get to sleep early and people are trying to dance all around him.
God,
And
of
it's
course.
very hard to sleep when people are doing that around you.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Con.
I think-
He's like,
Sorry, you said check,
apparently.
not
Time for
save.
the Sunny
Yeah.
and Arazid dance.
There we go.
Guess I'm doing a con check now.
Still not good enough there, boy.
What? 17.
Oh, no.
Good enough. You very angrily sleep.
Hey, Arazid, we need another dance check from you for Sunny.
Yeah,
We
you
need to
guys
settle
need
this.
to. You guys need to.
I'm thinking it's more of a three-way competition. But I'm definitely gonna need Sunny and Arazid to roll again to see who is the best winner overall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've got it down to 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Arazid is being consistent AF here.
Yeah, yeah.
For once.
Really amazing.
Sunny?
Damn!
Ooh!
Oh, whoa.
So you guys are serving, like, you are all dancing like your little Britney Spears Cher Madonna heart out right now. And it's pretty impressive. But ultimately, Arazid manages to surpass all of you, only just, but really just takes it away with like the death drop at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And that ring is like working really on Arazid's finger. Arazid's kind of doing like the Vogue like hand poses that really show off the ring.
Even though Ollie has made small teleportations, it's just not enough.
Ollie is just really trying, but her problem is she spent too long teaching others the beauty of dance. And they've surpassed her.
Yeah, but it's good. That's what you want as a teacher. Oh, all right. Well, now I think we're all exhausted and ready for a good long sleep.
So I'm assuming no watches, you'll just want to have a nice long sleep.
I would like to take a
Anything
watch.
sneak up on you?
What was that? Sorry, Bailey.
Can anything really sneak up on you? Like,
Technically.
it's difficult. Maybe Ollie could.
I mean, according to the numbers, it's not Ollie that's best on their feet, it's Arazid.
Yeah, but he's never had Arazid tail him. So he
That
doesn't
he
know how.
knows about.
Yes,
Oh!
exactly.
Okay, Arazid wants to take a watch. He can roll a perception check, please. Anyone else want to do one? Let me know.
You will take like last watch. He wants to get some sleep. 'Cause
Mm.
he's tired.
Okay. Is there a particular watch that Arazid wants to take? I'm assuming the first one?
Yeah, he just wants to stay up a little late, you know.
Mm. He sits there with his little cup lid of hot chockey, admiring his ring, and he's admiring the ring a little bit too much and ends up kind of forgetting to actually be on watch. Just kind of more simmers in the revelations of the day, like, oh my god, I can't believe that my sister's teacher is also the guy who happened to save this asshole from the desert. I guess not all people are good. If he's brought this level of assholery into the lives of everyone else.
Well, Arazid doesn't really think that you an asshole because you was teaching him how to read. So he's like, oh, this guy's just a nice softie, and he's just, he's just a little abrasive, but I'm sure if I give him enough kindness, I'll be able to wear him down.
Arazid spends their watch ruminating on how to befriend you. Does anyone want to wake up in particular for a watch? Would Arazid like to talk to Whitefang at all during his watch?
Yeah, I don't think they've spoken at all. So yes.
Okay. You can approach the front of the little nook that you guys are camping in for the evening, and you see him perched upon the rock. His eyes almost glow in the darkness.
Hi.
Hello, little one. How is the hours for
Thanks for helping us. Oh, it's nice. I've just been thinking.
What about?
Well, I mean, I want more group unity, and I think that today was some sort of progress. I learned more about you. I don't know, I like companionship, and I like having friends.
It is nice to know that your family will not up and leave you, or ask you to very politely leave the town, as mine did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, you can hang out with us, and I will not ask you to leave politely. Or meanly. I phrased that wrong. I'm sorry. I will not ask you to leave in any fashion.
You will help me as I seek the head of this bitch that lives in the tower herself. I will bring it back to my people as a trophy, and I will fashion it into a crown to prove my superiority.
Yeah, we can do all that. That's fine by me.
That is one way to keep people together. Power!
Well, yeah. I don't have a lot of that, but I mean, I'll help you get some more. I don't really have any use for power, I feel like, because I don't think that, if I was like, I'm the big boss, people would just be like, ha, oh, that's cute.
But you do not have a negative amount of power either. I saw you in the fight against Zorn and his cronies. You were more than able to keep your own against them.
Yeah, but it was more of a group effort. I miss about 50% of the shots I take. We've been counting.
That is
I
still
get a lot
better
of
than
shit
some
for it.
people.
Yeah, it is.
Bows are hard.
Yeah, bows are hard. I'm way better with my sword. I don't know why I even have a bow sometimes.
Sometimes getting into the meat of combat can seem quite daunting.
Yeah, especially when you have to look up at the people you're fighting. Like, I don't think anyone realizes how humiliating that is sometimes.
Stick with me, pup, and I will tell you how to demand loyalty from them. If not that,
I would like
respect.
that. Well, I more care about loyalty. I would like loyalty from all of my friends. So I will work on that. I will work on demanding loyalty and camaraderie. He was like, oh sorry, I yelled. I'm gonna keep my voice down.
The first thing you need to know about demanding loyalty is that you are never wrong. You may have done some inadvisable actions, but you yourself did not make a mistake.
Well, okay, sure. We can start there.
Now, he slides down from the rock that he's been perching on and stands next to you. It is looking a little bit like Totoro versus a human being. You kind of come up to just above his knees. He just poses in front of you. Now, stand up like this. Shoulders back, chest out. Rah!
Arazid does as instructed, without the growl. I'm pretty sure he would sound like baby Simba at the beginning of the Lion King if he did that. But he kind of like puffs out his chest. He throws back his shoulder. He lifts his head up high.
Not bad, not bad. You remind me of Eren in a lot of ways.
That's kind of a compliment. I'll take that.
Now, let me teach you more about how to demand respect and loyalty. And the two of you kind of trail off, having a little bit of an alpha male teaching moment until the next watch appears. Which is anyone in particular? Or nobody?
Sonny can take the last one if the sun's coming up.
You have
Alright.
backseat it.
Oh.
Well, you can get up now.
Alright.
He kind of makes his way.
You spent about 2 hours trying to sleep after being interrupted by the dance
Accosted.
troupe. Yep. He opens his eyes to see Whitefang and Arazid kind of like giving like a little chest like puffed out like competition between one another.
You kind of just, tries to keep quiet as to not interrupt the moment. As he kind of like gets up and moves towards like the little entrance exit and just kind of like leans against it.
You watch for some time. Eventually, your presence is noted. Arazid, you realise that Yu has woken up and has been watching you.
Arazid kind of jumps because he feels a little silly, but he's going to try to remain confident. He's going to keep his keep his chest puffed out, sort of tilt his head up. He's going to nod coolly at you, and then he's going to wave bye to Whitefang, and then just kind of meander back to his sleeping spot and curl up and sleep.
You just smirks and nods back to Arazid as he kind of like moves out a little bit and begins to take a watch and kind of looks around.
You notice that White Fang is explicitly not going to sleep. He is staying up and watching with you.
You kind of looks towards White Fang. So, do you ever sleep?
Not when my pack's lives are on the line.
Understandable.
Sure, if you had family, you would understand. Oh,
Maybe.
maybe
It's a shame they're all dead.
maybe you have found a new one. You just haven't realized it yet. White Fang's eyes glance back to the sleeping members of the group.
You shrugs a bit. Perhaps. I thought that before.
But I sense a but coming.
It's probably just that mercenaries don't really lend themselves well to a good family. These are good people. Unfortunately, I'm not a good person.
Just make sure that you aren't too much of a bad person, otherwise your bones will be cleaning my teeth.
You just kind of smirks. Do you see?
There are some good people in that family you have found.
There are. Well, I might exploit them a bit for money and everything. I'm not going to do anything more than that. And if it comes to that, I'll leave before it. I owe them that much.
As long as you are also making sure they do not go without. You cannot be a member of a group and take. You must also give every now and then. Or you do not have friends. You do not have family. You just have slaves.
You know, growing up, friends, family, these are foreign concepts to me. All I know is the concept between employer and employee. I do things for money.
Understandable. I hope that you learn, little one.
Perhaps I will. Perhaps not.
Anyway, your elf eyes see some shapes skittering on the cliff top opposite to you.
Can you make out any details? Like, is this just wild animals? Is it people?
You notice that they seem to walk on multiple legs, as in more than two legs. And you can see that they also seem to have a very bug-like build to them, and they begin to skitter in this kind of direction.
Oops, sorry.
And they crest over the cliff, and they disappear into the darkness of the side instead of the top as they descend down the cliff face, but also working their way east, away from you.
East is towards Girasse, correct?
Yes.
You kind of like looks towards it, and you've seen that, did you?
No.
All right. I don't know. I've seen quite a few things. I'm not sure if that's a bug person that's working for them, but it's moving towards the way of the enemy. Could be a scout. I'm going to go investigate.
Don't die. I don't want to explain your corpse to the others.
I'm sure none of them would care. They'd just take the gold, take what I've... Maybe take the sword and everything and continue on their path.
Maybe so. So you follow them?
Yes, he's going to stealthily follow them.
And I'm going to need a stealth check.
Oh god, I'm gonna inspiration that one because I don't want to get locked in
Ooh,
combat.
bish.
That's slightly better.
It's an improvement. There's a huge amount of passive perceptions that fall between 11 and 16.
There is.
You sneaks along the cliff face towards Duras for about half an hour or so. You see the shapes. They are kind of going down the cliff edge as well as to the east, but you see that they slip into cracks in the walls. They don't appear to be heading to Duras on the surface.
You's gonna kind of stealthily approach one of these cracks and see what he can see within.
The cracks are like the cliff face itself is about a mile high. The cracks are in all different heights of this cliff face. You can try and find one that is visible to you and examine it from there with a nature check.
Sure.
It reminds you a little bit of an ant hill that you saw as a child. Something about the crack, something about the footprints around them that give you those kind of memories.
You's going to pull out his what does he have? He's going to pull out a torch and kind of bury it in the sand a little bit, trying to hide it so he has a marker of where he's seen these things. While trying to not, give away that, it's just sticking out there. Like, try to hide it a little bit.
I think for that I'm gonna ask for a pure wisdom save. Wisdom check.
Check.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I thought that would be good. You bury it in a way that you feels natural.
He's then going to return, again, stealthily, not trying to alert these things.
Okay. You return to the boulder where White Fang has once again taken up residence. He kind of growls a little bit to you in a friendly-ish way.
You will nod. Kind of like walk up to the boulder and kind of like lean against it.
Right.
There's some insect-looking things scurrying about in and out of the cliff face. I'm not sure if they are sentient and act as scouts, or if they're just wild animals.
They may be neither. They may
Perhaps
be
that as well.
sentient wild animals. I mean, look at yours truly.
That is a third possibility. It'd be best to keep an eye out. I've placed a marker that I don't think anybody should be able to find, so we can at least know roughly where they were moving about in the morning.
An unexpectedly smart move from someone who I've only heard referred to as the asshole. Maybe there is hope for you yet.
You just kind of smirks a bit. It's my neck on the line, too. The only person I'll save for free is myself.
That makes sense. Why don't you get some rest?
Sounds like a good idea. That bastard did a bit of a number on me.
Yes.
You will then kind of head back in, check and see if anybody's kind of waking up or not.
Is anyone? There are 2 possible watches left in the night.
I can watch, maybe.
Okay. We'll go Inqua and then I think Sunny Bagsied the last one.
It's the only one Sonny's good at.
Seeing somebody get up and everything, you just kind of goes over to where his bedroll and stuff is and just gets back in it and finally gets some sleep.
Nice. Yeah. Now no one's dancing around. You're able to get a decent night's sleep. Inqua, you begin your watch with a perception check, please.
Can I use one of my I have some magical tinkering.
Ooh.
Could I make like could I use can I infuse and tinker an item so it sheds a little bit of light? Like 10 feet of light? I don't have dark vision, so...
Well, that would hamper your ability to watch right now somewhat.
Sunny might lend you his orb.
Yeah, there was certainly an orb that Sunny brought up earlier today that revealed sheds like some very dim lights. So you could take that and try and take that from his pack if you desire. I'm not sure on the mechanics of fashioning an object, but I'm assuming it's legal.
Any tiny mundane object works.
Okay. And you're able to cast light spells. Or
No,
spells
it's
that shed light.
Yeah, it's magical tinkering.
Yeah. So yeah, I think with those two things combined, you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like pour some chemicals on like a rock or something and just like give it a little bit of light.
All right. Give me an artisan's tool check, please, with intelligence, as its ability.
Intelligence, I'm good at these.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Not advantaged, unfortunately, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
It only takes you like 2 minutes, and you just like bang, bang, bang with a hammer, and suddenly you have this very small glowing orb in your hands that sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5.
Yeah. I guess now I'll do my perception check.
Please.
Actually pretty good.
You don't hear much except the snoring of your fellow companions and the deep breathing, but not snoring of Whitefang outside.
Alright then.
Other than that, the night is quite quiet for you.
While I'm doing that, I'm kind of working on my experimental elixir, and I'll just roll a new effect as...
Go for it.
Oh, D6, that's a 1. That's fine. That is healing.
Nice. I may not remember how to do this, but I remember what it does.
Yeah.
You make your way through all of this. You're more focused on the jobs at hand rather than keeping watch eventually. But you begin to see a lightening in the sky, signaling that your watch is over.
Oh. Guess I'll just wake up Sunny.
Yuki.
You are awakened by a scholar with a great dress sense. It is really quite dark right now. Again, because like you guys are in a rather deep cliff. The light takes a lot longer to permeate the cliff than you're used to. You feel very sluggish, Sunny. You haven't really been able to sleep next to much in the way of heat tonight. It's quite cold in this valley.
Well, I think Sunny has a way of being able to get more light. Put friend multiplier on left, put friend multiplier on right, light lantern in the middle, 3 times the light. That's how maths works.
How do you light the lantern?
Magically.
Okay. Like with a light spell or with like a flame spell?
I don't think I have a flame spell. unless you count burning hands, which I don't think would.
Or fireball.
Yes. I'm going to light a magical reliquary by shooting fireball at it. What could go wrong?
You create flame by casting the cantrip Produce Flame. I create flame by casting the 3rd level spell Fireball. We are not the
Weird
same.
enough.
Just gonna stamp all over that and put it. Produce flames, druid only.
Not exclusively, but
Oh.
for the most part, yes.
Rangers.
And fire ganassi.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Either way.
But
yeah,
you ain't
my
any of
only
those
option is
things.
the light spell.
Yeah.
My only option is the light spell.
All right. You cast the light spell on it, and the reflections on the mirrors make a very interesting pattern along the walls of the cubby that you're in. Roll a perception check, please. With the light more up, for the first time, you notice some carvings along the wall of the cliff.
Huh.
They are not written in a language that you understand, but they seem to have been scratched very quickly, very hurriedly.
Sonny knows what he's doing when people wake up. Well, not Arazid, but no offense.
Well, without much further fanfare, your watch goes by quite quietly. Whitefang will give you some very passive-aggressive, dirty looks when he first notices your mirrors, especially when you insist on their proper names. But otherwise, he will leave you alone.
I imagine that'll fly over Sonny's head more effectively than a cat swatting at air.
And with that, everyone gains the benefit of a long rest. The morning comes. And don't forget to deduct rations from your character sheets for the evening if you have eaten. Unless Sunny has spent a 3rd level spell slot on his waffles.
I don't have that.
Then everyone please deduct rations.
Sonny eats bananas.
Calling the bananas exactly as generous. But they certainly taste like something.
Well, he's probably never seen a banana before, so he has no frame of reference.
As you kind of gets up and everything, he slips on the mittens. Now attuned to them.
You looks quite fetching.
That's a good look, buddy.
He shrugs.
Does anyone know what the scratches mean? Just pointing at the aforementioned indentations.
Do they look like a language at all?
They do look like a language. For those of you that know it, the scratches are written in primordial.
Oh, I don't have that.
I think you know. Yeah, no, you does know that. And he's literate.
It says Magraine was here.
He just lets out a giant sigh. I think the Kenku know primordial. Don't ask me how, but that is written as someone known as Magraine was here.
Mm-hmm. But who is this great sorcerer, Magraine? What did he do here at this location?
It's either that, or I also saw some bugs during the night. It could be one of them.
Oh, bugs that can write. Cool.
These were like big, multi-legged bug things that I don't know if they're sentient and wild.
Did it look like a big black giant scorpion that's hungry for the taste of pregnant gnome? Maybe he's followed us all the way here.
No, I didn't get that good of a look. I just seen a creature, and my vision in the dark doesn't work that well to get details.
Ollie is on fucking edge.
Well, if we know what the words mean, then there's only one thing to do. Scratch out in Aquan, Sunny was here.
It takes Sunny a couple of minutes to scratch that out. He writes it just below the original. And you all only have Sunny's word for it, that it says what it says. I'm fairly sure that only he speaks Aquan. Or reads it.
I understand primordial, which is part of that. So
So you know the alphabet, but not necessarily the dialect itself.
yeah,
So I think in Raw, Aquan is specified as being separate.
yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, if you know Dwarvish, you don't necessarily know. Now I'm blanking on literally any other language that uses Dwarvish alphabets.
Orc.
Orc, thank you. You wouldn't know Orc. You'd be able to like read it, kind of, but not understand it. Kind of like reading Spanish.
It's like me with Polish people. You're like, it's a lot of W's.
It's like me
Ah, the
trying
W's.
to read something on the internet. It's called grammar, people!
Grammar is what I did to your mum last night.
And then your grandma. Because your mom and then your grandma. That's what grandma means to me.
Yeah, just trying to read anything on the...
It's just a sweet old grammar.
Yeah,
I love
I
it.
get the
She
feel...
doesn't have any teeth anymore.
Sometimes I feel like internet typing is a language unto
I
itself.
am.
My dear
I can pick-
Victor.
Ursula. I can pick up all the things you need picked up.
Honey.
It was only yesterday I managed to confuse something.
You want to rearrange your furniture?
Let's move on. So you guys presumably have some form of breakfast, and then does you try and seek out his marker from last night?
Yes, he was going to go. Once the once the party kind of gets up and we're on the move, he'll start looking for the marker.
You spot it like straight away. To you, it's obvious. To everyone else, it just looks like a crack in the rock until you begin to move it, and they're like, "Oh."
You pulls out the torch and kind of like points up to the cracks and everything. This is where I seen them entering an or I guess entering. I didn't see any exit.
Oh gosh, you think they just have like a whole bug city in these cliffs? Like it.
Approximately 30 feet up from the ground, there is a hole that seems to have been bored out of the rock itself. Anyone that would like to have a closer look can now roll a nature check.
Why not? Sunny's always looking for new friends.
I mean, Ollie is terrified. I don't
Okay.
think she could not.
Why do I keep rolling that 20s?
I think, Matt, do you know how
Turn
to...
off the...
Yeah, do you
No,
know
I-
how to
I
turn
just like
off
to-
auto advantage?
I know how to turn it off. I just like it.
But it's teasing you so badly right now.
But it's funny.
And here are some nat 20s you could have had.
Exactly.
So you continues his streak from last night about not knowing jack shit about these people. Ollie being quite adverse to bugs, as is very predictable for Ollie, similarly knows nothing.
Ollie's looking at a hole on the other side, on the other cliff, and like, oh yeah, that could be it.
Solas, you've been around. Solas and Sunny, I should say. You guys have both been around. You've seen these kind of holes before. you have vague recollections of them being referred to as ant holes. Inqua, the name Formids comes to your mind.
Formid holes.
Ermita
Or-
hole.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Sorry.
Oh, my
Well?
bad. It's Formian, not Formid. Well, as in Formian is the noun, Formid is the verb. Adjective?
Formidable.
Something like that.
That sounds like something I would use to clean my bathroom.
It's pretty good.
Formidable. It gets rid of the toughest of limescale.
Reminds me of, like, do you guys know Hot Ones?
Are they
Ones?
like Hot Pockets?
It's a YouTube channel where
Yeah.
a guy gets celebrities in to have interviews whilst they eat increasingly hot sauces.
Oh, vaguely,
yeah.
yeah.
So they got Gordon Ramsay in recently. For
Really?
the second time. He's actually been on the show twice now, and Ramsay would not stop talking about how his hole was going to suffer as a result. I was just like, man, that guy needed some formidable.
It does sound like a very wonderful medication.
Yeah, it does.
If you want something preserved, you just go for some formaldehyde. So yes, they are Formian, possibly. Inqua, you think? But the others, you just know them as like ant people.
Are they the friendly kind of ant people, or the kind of ant people that Sunny would have ended up having to run away from?
You've had mixed to negative encounters with Formids.
Right, bad friends. Got it.
So,
Alright.
are these kill on sight creatures or?
They make bad friends.
So are these kill on sight creatures or?
Try
Yeah.
talking first, but keep weapons out.
Do you guys continue walking towards Duras? But
Possibly
otherwise,
slightly faster.
yeah, otherwise
He
keeping
does.
weapons out and whatnot.
You just keeps a hand out of the weapon. He's not pulling it out yet.
Okay. You guys continue down the path a little bit. Eventually, you're getting fairly close. But then you almost lose the light entirely as the day winds on.
You guys feel like, and this is just like a really weird thought that I just had, but since we're like down and there's like cliffs up on either side, do you think we're getting like less sun than we normally do? Like, even though like if we were like up on the top of this cliff, like the sun would be over there, but since we're down here and that cliff wall is blocking the sun, it's like our days shorter because of these, or maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
We can
Ollie
just
learns the horrors of shade.
we can continue pushing forward if need be.
I don't really want to. I don't like walking in the dark when there's bugs around. I've had some bad experiences.
Well, I suppose we can look for another nook in the wall someplace, and you begins to look around.
You find
Oh, shit.
a nook in the wall.
Ah, perfect. You walks towards it.
It seems quite tight. Quite small, but it definitely seems to be well hidden.
All right, this seems to be a good place. It might be even more hidden than last time. He begins to squeeze his way in.
You squeeze your way in. You eventually reveals the rest of the cave that they can see. Blocked at the
Can Sunny
ends.
fit?
Sunny can fit with some time. The opening is about 3 feet wide at the most, so Sunny is going to need a bit of negotiating to get in.
Sunny will go in last.
You want me to push you?
Probably. I really need to pick a higher pitched voice. I know exactly who in this group to ask for experience on having a high pitched voice.
Who would that be?
Is this like a door? Or...
What is this creepy fucking place?
So Whitefang kind of like pushes you like up against the rock face, and then just like really with a pop, just like pushes you through, and you land right inside, and he is close behind you.
Thank you.
So you, Ollie, you guys see a pile of rubble.
Oh man, it's gonna be one of those butt-biting lizards. All right.
What?
mm,
Oh yeah, the rock lizard
you-
thing.
Yeah, the rock lizard.
Well, there's a very easy way to figure this out. He pulls out his sword, fire wreathes it as he just firebolts the rocks or the rubble.
The rubble kind of like breaks apart into smaller bits of rubble. The rocks wheeze a little bit as heat makes them expand and contract. But the tunnel seems to be a little bit more deep than you thought.
Interesting. Well, he's gonna take his free hand and start moving stuff out the way and continue on.
Mhm.
May as well see where this goes. I don't really want to be stabbed in the back while I sleep.
Sunny's gonna relight the old reliquary lanterny thing. And Ollie.
Don't you guys remember the last time we did something like this?
Yes, Sunny made a new friend. Followed by another new friend.
It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun.
Sunny will light the way from behind you.
He has dark vision. He doesn't need it.
Sunny
No fun,
pretends
no
not
fun,
to
no
hear that
fun.
so he can feel useful.
I can't see without you, buddy. Oh. Not having fun. Not enjoying. Oh.
Ollie's shin kind of itches from like the point where the rock reptile bit her all that time ago. I'm gonna assume
like-
that Solas and Inqua are coming as well, just chilling around.
Whoever
Rock
dug
is
the
in my
tunnel
blood.
Really drunk.
Look, don't at me like that, okay?
Doesn't it seem like maybe we should be like more careful? Really?
Worst case, it's a bunch of ants that we kill.
Eventually, the tunnel opens up into something a bit wider that you feel that you are finally able to stand up in. There are some very small bits of like detritus of life around.
He's gonna like come to here and try and like stealthily peek around the corner.
Roll stealth for me, please.
Please tell me White Fang's not stuck.
Hey!
Well, that's what happens when you try to stealth while standing in front of a lit light source.
You have a little peek around, you fall on your butt, and can see into the rest of this singular cavern.
Ah, perfect. You gets up and dusts himself off. Just kind of like walks in.
This will do plenty well for a night's sleep. So much room!
Yeah, so homey.
Is this a wall or does this continue?
Yeah, is there ways through in either of these directions? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, danger, Will Robinson. I mean, what? What?
Okay,
So,
I'm just gonna resort to some, like, squares now.
Which way do I go? Oh, let's follow the light.
If we find another deserted laboratory, I'm probably going to be really happy.
Hey, there's a big ass naga in here. There's a big ass.
ooh, you sees a interesting thing that he goes and investigates.
Has somebody walked into a dead end?
No, I just
Oh.
only have one mouse.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You find a small, looks like a long forgotten smuggler's cache.
He
There are
begins to raid that.
some old boxes. The wood in the boxes is mostly rotted away. But inside, you see a couple of empty glass bottles. One of them has a crack in.
There's nothing else.
Nope.
He is going to be very sad. The one time he finds something, it's nothing. He's just gonna leave the stuff there and get moving.
Okay.
Does this feel natural or like dug out?
This does feel dug out.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now I know how far I can see.
Nice.
He's just gonna like be cautious as he moves about.
Wow, I underestimated how much light gave off. Light gave off.
So you have got 1, 2, 3 places to explore. Excuse me.
Well, if you's taking that one. I feel like every time we pick a different route, it just turns out to be the same route.
Welcome to caves.
Oh, there's something here. Is it a living person or a dead, or is that a pile of rocks?
It's more rubble.
It's more of a pile of rocks.
Diggy diggy hole.
As you bend around this corner, you can feel a gentle vibrating coming from within.
Lovely.
Can he see anything?
You can see just like the tip of a tail kind of resting. It is a scaled armored tail and it is quite large.
He's gonna hold like a finger like from his offhand to his mouth as he kind of like kneels down a bit to move it more stealthily. As he's going to investigate a little bit more.
You literally cannot do worse, so please roll me a stealth check.
How do my sheet end up like? Okay. There we go.
Duality of
The
man.
duality of man.
That's
See,
definitely
this is
going
what a
on
difference it makes
showcase.
trying to stealth away from the light.
You get quite close and you see it is a massive sleeping, six-legged, pardon me, 12-legged beast. As it exhales, you can, like, your hair feels almost staticky.
You nopes away from that. There's some kind of beast sleeping back there. I don't know what it is, nor anything else other than the fact that it seems to cause electricity, static, whenever it.
So there
Oh,
is this here and also this up here.
well, if
Sunny's
it's-
attempting to de-rubble a doorway.
Okay.
There's no reason to be quiet about this.
It takes you a minute or two, but you're able to successfully jab a lot of the rubble out. And in this process, from within, you hear skittering.
That skittering sounds suspiciously like somebody hitting the keys on the keyboard.
Sunny knows not what a keyboard is.
Sorry.
Is
So, what's in the other direction?
Oh, there's an ant person.
This six-legged creature, this is the one that actually has 6 legs, looks up at all of you. It raises its mandibles and you just hear this oddly fleshy sounding and then
Does
you can hear
anyone speak clicky?
You attempts to communicate in primordial. Do you understand this language?
it narrows its eyes down at you. How do you speak language of the outwards? Explain.
Long story that involves very bad people. And other things. End of the day, what are you doing here?
At home. At home.
Apologies. We didn't mean to enter uninvited. We were simply exploring what appeared to be a cave in the wall. Do you know anything about that weird lizard thing over there? And he kind of like jabs with his thumb back towards like where he's seen the weird creature.
Mistress's pets. Guardian. Meant to keep
I
rebel
see.
out.
Well, it's sleeping on the job. Perhaps you should, you know.
Squee!
I'm assuming this is why Sunny feels these things are not the best of friends.
He don't speak primordial?
Well, he understands when something starts screeching his head off.
Right.
Look. Calm down. As long as you don't attack us, these people won't attack you. And as long as they don't attack you, I don't have any liability not to. It's harder for me to attack you. Let's just put it that way.
what?
By the way, does anybody here work for the people up on top side?
No. We work for ourselves.
That's good. One moment. Yu's gonna look towards the party as he swaps back to common. This is these things' home. That weird creature that I seen earlier is a guardian of some sort. Not sure if you guys want to continue. I mean, I'm totally down with indiscriminately killing them all and taking whatever's here.
I would prefer not to. Mean no harm.
Hey, yeah, I think what you're describing, there's a word, genocide. Why don't we just, yeah, why don't we just back up out of here and, camp somewhere else for the night?
Yeah, but this is a really nice cave. It's like dug out
Yeah.
and everything.
There is
You know,
no,
there could be
Agus's
treasure
cave is
deeper
a
within.
nice
What
cave.
if there's more magical items within? This could, it could lead down deeper into the earth. We could find the orb of fire.
Yeah,
You never know.
for some reason, I don't know. I don't feel it in my balls. I don't think this is a spot.
Oh my god.
Eh, let's just back up out of here. When in doubt, pull out.
You know, come after spooky magic room.
You looks
Spooky,
back
man.
towards the thing as he switches back to primordial. We'll be going now. Apologies for the intrusion.
Didn't they just say spooky magic room? I mean, I know I didn't understand, but you?
Wait. Oh, did they? Oh, never mind. You can only look towards. Sorry. Let's avoid that. You looks towards spooky magic room. Would you care if we took a look? We have people who might be able to help with it.
You must ask Queen's permission.
We have experience. No, wait, no, that was primordial, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Get mildly confused here.
We're pretty adept at handling magic and everything.
Not my call. Queen's call. Come with us.
All right. You looks back towards them. They're taking us to their queen. They have some kind of spooky magic. We're gonna take a look. This could, be a good payday.
Okay, spooky magic room.
These creatures seem trustworthy, if not
Ollie's-
delicious.
Maybe don't dip into that. Ollie's gonna give him the nod and ignore the shivers down her spine. Oh.
The one that you were speaking to points southwest and says, "Go that way."
Okay, friend.
Just moves. He cocks up to this one. As he's, continues parking. We were told to see the queen. We're here to help with the spooky magic room. We need her permission.
We're later going to find out that the one that called it spooky magic room is considered a bit dim by the rest of their standards, and it's not actually called that.
You eventually approach this, just to set the stage, this much larger looking ant creature with a massive abdomen in comparison to the others that you have seen. The end of it is actually hidden behind this creature, and it looks down at you with very intelligent eyes and speaks in common to the lot of you.
Well, I'm about to be sick.
I welcome you.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, friend.
You takes a bit of a bow. Thank you for meeting with us, Your Majesty.
Ollie will also bow.
So he has no idea what they're doing. You have spooky magic room. We've seen one of those before. Is it also full of friends?
We have not been there. My slaves cannot penetrate its defenses.
Oh,
Well,
does it also have
perhaps we
talking
can.
door?
One at a time, Sunny first.
Oh, does it also have talking door?
You?
Perhaps we can aid. We've dealt with magics before.
We heard of no talking door, but it has a magic. Something weird about the room. You have not killed any of us, and that is always a good thing.
Oh, we wouldn't dream of it. Guys
You
are
look
so cute.
To the sword that he had been holding, without realizing it, and sheathes it very quickly.
Yes, it is what I have come to expect from surface dwellers. If you wish to explore this room, you may.
Oh, thanks.
Just point us in the direction. And is there anything within that you have laid claim to, or are we free to take anything in compensation for helping out?
We demand food if you have found it.
And a couple of the drones around go, yes, food for the queen. Grow our colony. But only a couple of you that understand Primordial understand that.
You nods. If we find any, we'll be sure to leave it for you, Your Majesty.
Go back to the original chamber, the one that you were in before, and then head south and east. We have patched it up with rock, but you will have no issue with that.
Very well. We will return once we have thoroughly investigated the area. Thank you again for your kindness, Your Majesty, and he will bow once again.
And Ollie will also bow to be polite.
Sonny will do the bowie thing, seeing as people insist on doing it.
Yeah. The one who accidentally let slip about the magic room place is waiting once again as you emerges.
All right, we have permission. Could you lead us?
Down there!
Very well, thank you. You just kind of like nods and waves as he moves past all these drones.
A lot of them give you guys some very suspicious looks. But seeing that there is no aggression on your part, they kind of get back to what they were doing. They seem to be a fairly docile species, once given understanding.
It appears we've left them a food source in the form of gnome.
Oh no! Sorry, I'll just move Arazid, that's fine. Right, I forgot to upload this map, so talk amongst yourselves for 2 seconds.
So, D&D, eh? So,
Yes,
do you guys
let's-
like to roll dice too?
Yeah,
Yes, let's
yeah.
D&D our gender
Very nice.
politics.
There's nothing
No,
quite
we're
like
not
the
getting back
to
that.
feeling
No,
of a-
no.
No one wants to talk about that.
Nothing quite like the feeling of rolling dice. You know, physical dice. You know what I
Yes.
love about playing
That's-
D&D with kids is how
get to roll actual dice.
quickly. Well, yeah, and how quickly they re-roll the dice when they're like, oh, I didn't like that. And they just go. And you're like, oh, your impulse control is so impressive.
I miss
I
being
love
brought
that.
pizza each week.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, we'd bring you so much pizza.
I get so
And
fat.
beer. Hey, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it.
A little bit.
Oh, man.
I already
Yeah,
have the map ready, it's just uploading. Shouldn't be too
cool,
long.
cool, cool.
Because don't forget to hide it.
Or don't.
Hide it?
Enable fog of war so we don't just
Oh,
get
right.
there and look at everything.
Yeah.
It's really good for me that we play, you know, like so early in the morning our time, because generally when I play D&D, I like to drink beer. But not at 9 in the morning.
What do you mean not at 9 in the morning? It's a Saturday.
I swear to God,
know,
I've heard
it's
you
a
pouring
Saturday.
whiskey into your coffee before.
Okay, that's different. That's morning coffee whiskey. I was thinking, I'm like, oh, they might call me out on that. But
Fucking called it.
yeah, it's different. But you know, like beer, it's like I'll drink so much beer in one D&D session. Where like I'll have one whiskey coffee. Like the difference is pretty stark. Like when I was playing in Riley's campaign, it was funny because I was playing a child and I'm literally like a drunk child. Or a drunk woman playing a child.
¿Por qué no las dos?
Bueno. Ah.
We successfully managed to walk through some other area full of people without killing them all. That's like a first.
Having
Rare.
someone in your party classified as quote unquote the asshole. Yeah.
Oh, he's only an asshole to the party. To everyone else, he's wonderful.
Yeah, he was very
Who,
nice
you?
to these ants. Yeah.
Well, they're clients.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
There it is.
I would say if it wasn't for the fact that he thinks he can get something out of it, he would be an absolute asshole and probably have started indiscriminately killing.
This is how Bailey is in real life at the pharmacy.
Yeah, I don't like you, so here's
Here I
we're
go
gonna
killing again.
swap out your blood pressure medication for sugar pills.
Yeah.
Your blood thinners for sugar pills.
That's so weird that all of these clients are part of the placebo studies, isn't it?
I know.
It's like a little hard to tell with the lighting, but I'm fairly sure everything's hidden for you now.
Easy way to tell is turn down the opacity of turn up the opacity of the darkness,
Ooh.
because there should be a slider for that somewhere in the settings.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm gonna put it down for myself so it's not pure black darkness. Haha.
It's only on the GM side.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe that's a pro thing. I can't find it, so I'm
Okay.
gonna
Yeah,
do
it
the
might-
old-fashioned chance it.
Okay.
Yep, that's darkness.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it might just be part of the plugin I have that adds stuff.
Oh, that would oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's the easy one there. Oh no, not my poor white fang.
Oh, there's no grid. That's why.
There was a grid, but I kind of messed up putting it on. But
Ooh, the freedom. Ooh.
I can move in more ways than just 5 feet to up, down, left, or right.
I can move
It's
in
all
more ways than
waiting.
8 cardinal directions.
I can move at a
Dimensionality.
91-degree angle.
Ugh.
I keep accidentally clicking
He
my
was
token
coming
while
over to
moving and
receive
bringing
this
up the
chest.
menu.
So what you find
Where's this
yourselves
door?
in is a large room. There is a painting on the back corner that stretches across almost the entire back corner. The painting is of a room that looks very similar to this. And on the wall at the back of the room, it has the phrase etched into it: see without knowing, touch without feeling, live without being, walk without moving. The chest is empty.
What about the flower pots?
Dead.
Oh,
As you
So-
peer further into the painting, you see that there is a chest represented in the painting as well, and this one is closed, not open.
You closes the chest.
I'm sorry. Could we repeat the puzzle? See without seeing.
See without knowing, touch
See without knowing.
without feeling, live without being, walk without moving.
that last one's teleportation.
Sorry. Live without
Being.
Living. Being.
being.
Walk
And- oh.
without moving.
Walk without moving. Okay. Mm. Okay. See without knowing, touch without feeling, live without being, walk without moving. Girl, you're a bird. You're a bird.
He's gonna start inspecting the paint. Like like the room is mirrored, but what are the differences?
So
Like the chest is open in this room, but closed in the painting.
yeah. And so behind you guys is an entranceway. But in front of you is the message scrawled on the wall, and there are no plant pots in the room beyond.
It's like there's no plant pots in
Yeah.
the picture.
Huh.
He's gonna kind of turn and point towards them. All right. We should attempt removing those to recreate what's on here.
You know, the see without knowing, it reminds me of something the old ladies once said to me in the pool showers when they asked me why I didn't just strip down naked like they did. And I said, I'm not like really comfortable, so I'd prefer to just like shower in my bathing suit. And she said, don't worry, we look, but we don't see.
That's not meant to.
That's so ominous.
That doesn't help, Grandma.
Are these people blind?
They are
It's
old.
it's just because they're blind.
I was going to ask, are the old ladies worshippers of Cthulhu or something? Because that sounds like right out of that lot.
Grim.
Look, they look
Don't
in your
worry.
direction, but they can't see you.
Yeah. We don't take it in, basically. We notice you, but we don't care. Yeah.
Is that just their way of saying we've got better bodies than you?
Maybe. Or just saying we've reached an age where you could literally have 3 boobs and we wouldn't blink.
Oh, so they've seen that film.
Oh god.
He's going to begin trying to move flower pot.
You pick it up and it essentially crumbles into dust the second that you touch it.
Oh.
Is there a giant pile of dust in the picture?
No.
I don't think...
Anybody have anything to move a bunch of dust?
I
happens
just...
if Sunny... Up to you.
Oh, I'll just scoop it up into my bag of holding.
What happens if Sunny closes his eyes and walks at the picture?
Then Sunny disappears into the picture.
What the? You walks over.
Super Mario 64 type beat.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna like place a hand towards Sunny, like disappeared.
So is Sunny like in the picture, or is Sunny just on the other side of a wall?
He does one then the other. He walks through the picture, opens his eyes, and realizes that he is in another room. The air feels a little different here. It feels a little stale almost. And there is quite an oppressive light. As you look at the wall to the bottom now, you see that what is written on it has changed.
Is
What,
it
can
written
Sunny
in one of the
read?
3 languages he can read?
Yes. It says, "The key
Oh,
is
which one?
found within your head. Use the key to paint me red. Be aware of what you spurn, for what you give shall be returned."
Huh. What's behind him?
You look back and you just essentially see the room as is. Everyone kind of looking up at you without looking through, without being able to see you.
Huh. To quote their famous line from a certain film, what's in the box?
Inside the box is a single knife, a dagger, steel, and a handle of shining gems.
Yeah, that's the one. I saw it recently. Oh, months back.
Does anything happen when you presses his hand against the painting that Sonny just walked into?
His hand begins to phase into the painting.
Oh,
The painting surface begins to ripple.
that's rather simple. And you're just gonna walk.
Jesus Christ.
So what's to bet they're dead?
Oh my god, if only we had the sending stones.
Once that you comes through and everything, he's gonna turn around and press against the wall or whatever. Can he exit?
He can.
All right. He's just gonna like put a hand through and give a thumbs up.
As he does that, as he does that, all he hears is a slight "fuck" from Solas.
He's then going to go and investigate the chest with Sonny.
He
Okay,
walks
there's a
over
knife
to see.
and there's a gem.
Yeah, he walks over to see the chest
Pocket.
already open and a very ornate dagger in Sunny's hands.
Sonny is not planning to
Dagger,
stab you.
does it have any writing or any inscriptions, anything in it? Other or does it just look ornate?
It just looks quite well made. It still looks sharp as well.
I meant to ask, if Sonny can read the writing on the wall, what language is the writing in?
You see common.
Sonny is having a mindfuck moment.
Hugh kind of looks at that, looks towards the the wall, reads that, looks towards the dagger and everything. Do you mind if I try something?
Sonny hands you the dagger. Sonny is currently trying to figure out how he can suddenly read common.
He's gonna hold the dagger, kind of press it against his palm, and cut. To get a little bit of blood to see if that does anything.
Does he do anything with that blood?
He kind of tilts his hand to the side and lets it drop onto the floor.
Nothing happens.
Can you paste the riddle somewhere? Just so we could
It's in
read
voice
it.
chat
I did.
or the out of game chat.
In the out of game chat.
Is it? There it is.
What happens if Sonny takes all the gems that are in the box?
There aren't any gems in the box. The gems are on the handle.
Oh.
Yu's gonna walk towards this back wall, kind of holding his hand so a bit of blood will well again before placing a hand before placing that hand on the wall, not on the text or anything, but just on the wall.
With your hand resting against the wall, the blood seems to be absorbed into the wall itself. A few seconds go by and the blood reappears, coalescing into one shape. And that's where we're going to end this session.
Oh, God.
Wait, what's the
I
shape?
think that's everyone else's reaction. Oh God, there's two of them!
For context,
There's
the
two
blood
now.
is in
Oh
the
my
shape
God.
of you.
Yeah, Sonny's just gonna fireball the both of them. One's enough, thanks.
It's good job Solas isn't on that side.
Essentially,
Can they, wait,
go ahead.
can they see this in the picture? Does the picture reflect?
It reflects some things, but other things it can't see. The guys from outside of the portrait right now can see Sunny and they can see you, but they can't see evil you, and they can't see the words
Evil
changing.
you? That means that's... Wait, two negatives make a positive, so that's good you.
It's like Bender and Fluxo.
No, he's evil to you. He's like the most angelic person in the world because he's the
He's just-
opposite of you.
I take my money, please, please. Use it for whatever you'd like. No.
But it's worth noting, Sunny and you can both see that the figure that has just emerged out of the wall is very clearly not made of flesh. It's just made of blood.
Oh. Jesus.
I was gonna say, what if we take evil you instead of normal view.
Yeah.
I think
Leave the other.
Sonny just needs to stick his head through the paint and go, "There's 2 U's in here. I'm leaving."
Yeah, Sonny just leaves and nobody comes in.
And then you is just stuck with himself forever.
Me,
It is
myself, and die.
it is
And
also worth
die.
noting that as this shape kind of like forms, falls off of the wall, and then like forms into its like representation of you, it does reach for a weapon,
Oh. Well,
which is
it's
why
a
I'm
good thing
like,
that I'm
and
not going
scene.
to be here next week.
Mm.
Aww.
Well, we'll have
As
to
well
find
as
out
I
what
don't-
happens.